However, a stock that after getting hammered has actually done reasonably well, probably in the month of March, is Justdial. It's seen a slew of brokerage upgrades as well. In the last fortnight, Citi has come out. They have upgraded the stock to buy on the local search business. Edelweiss initiated coverage. They have spoken fairly well about this one as well. A clutch of other names, a clutch of other brokerages coming in and saying that how they're taking the hard, credible path to glory, and therefore they like the stock as well. So a bunch of brokerages are bullish and the stock has done reasonably okay. Ramkumar Krishnamachari, CFO of Justdial, joins in now to speak about what the next few quarters could look like for the company. Good having you, Ram. Thanks so much for joining in. Firstly, I'm guessing you're supporting India. The money is on India or Australia though?
Absolutely India. I'm sure Dhoni and team, they are going to go to the final. Okay. I'm pretty confident.
So the money is also...
The vibes are there.
Okay, so the money is also... I would have asked him whether there has been enough searches on their string for India versus Australia as well. But we'll leave that for another day, Ram. For now, let's just talk about the business. And as I was saying, a bunch of brokerages have actually come out and spoken very well of the baby steps or a few key decisions that you've taken. Now, to start off with, you have 23 Search Plus services live on the platform. You've tied up with almost 3 lakh service providers as well. I believe you'll be starting it in the next month. So give us a peek into the monetization roadmap for this business.
So the roadmap is very simple. Now the product is ready to be commercially launched in the month of April and May. The philosophy is very simple. We want to make life easier for the Indian consumers to not only search but also search and transact on a single platform. So make it easier for them to do any of the day-to-day transaction. And as you know, the ecosystem is supporting us. Many Indians are going online. And we want to make sure that we are in the midst of making life easier for the Indian consumers to not only transact but also save money and time. Now, the idea is first to launch the product, introduce, help consumers discover it, the value proposition of doing those multiple things on a single platform, and then go about, think about monetization. The idea is just to get the traffic, communicate the value proposition to the consumer, and then begin the monetization process. We believe that once we start the monetization, there will be 5 sources of revenue apart from the subscription revenue that we have. Including the subscription revenue, there will be 5 sources. So there will be a transaction fee, then there will be a fee for vendor application that we plan to have. There will be display and banner ads, and then there will be fee for the marketplace shopfront that we plan to introduce. So these 5 different revenue streams should start. The monetization process should start sometime in the second half of FY16. But what's more important is we are not worried. We are not going to rush with the monetization. We want to first make sure that the Indians discover this product. The vendors for themselves, they will have almost all the 14.7 million businesses that we have will have an opportunity to transact with the consumers who are going online. That's our entire game plan, and that's where we are heading. And we are quite excited. There's no horizontal play across elsewhere in the world as well who have attempted this, ability to both search and transact on a single platform.
Okay. The other interesting bit that I do want to know from Justdial is whether the ad spend of 100 odd crores that they'll have to undertake will have a bit of a knock on their margins or no. So that's the other key thing that I do want to know from Justdial. Remember, as I said, a bunch of brokerages have come out and given an upgrade to Justdial over the medium term. In fact, Edelweiss believes that over a 3-year period, their CAGR growth could be almost 30%. But that is something that will come to later on in the show. The first question on the margins front is that I believe you'll probably do a one-time annual ad spend of 100 crores earmark for this. Now, will this result in margins taking a sizable knock in the next 12 months?
If you include the one-time spend, definitely there's going to be impact on margin. But we are saying that we have to spend this money to introduce the Search Plus product to wider consumers. We have not done that. We have to communicate the various value to the Indian consumers of doing all those different things, be it ticket booking, be it food order, table reservation, doctor's appointment, buying products, the real-time price discovery. So there's going to be a one-time spend, and what we are saying is 100 crore is going to be the total ad spend for the year 15-16. Substantial portion of that is going to be one time, and post that it's going to be about 4 to 5% of revenue. If you exclude the one-time spend, we expect a stable margin. Of course, with the possibility of an upside.
Sure. Ramkumar, if you can give us some color on where the trajectory in the paid campaign additions and traction in the search and marketplace model have been moving at the similar run rate as was seen in the last couple of quarters?
Yeah, so the core search is doing extremely well. That continues to do well. As far as marketplace is concerned, look, the Search Plus we have just introduced. It's in the soft launch. People are already discovering and transacting, but too premature for me to comment on any numbers on the Search Plus because we have not yet introduced to the wider consumers yet. So it's not been commercially launched. So, but the core business, the campaign addition, everything is going strong.
Okay, reports indicate that the pickup in the SME businesses, which account for most of your listings business, will take longer than expected. Do you concur with that view? And how could it influence your price upticks? Will it be few and far between and low single digits as and when it happens, or as the trajectory going forward?
No, our belief is that the ecosystem itself is going to force many SMEs to come on board and sign up with Justdial on a paid basis. It's only a question of discovery as far as we are concerned. So our effort is to make sure that my sales people reach out to as many SMEs as possible, educate them, sensitize them about the need for having an enhanced presence on my platform so that they can be discovered, because consumers are going online. So it is imperative, and the businesses, the small, medium businesses, it's imperative for them to get onto a platform like Justdial so that they can be discovered and now they can be transacted. So sooner or later you will realize that this 2% which is penetration which is there, that is likely to go up as we move forward in the next 3-4 years. And couple that with the Search Plus. We are actually on Search Plus, we are targeting about 1 million business who can easily get onto the Search Plus on a paid basis for the search, on the transaction platform. So our belief is that we have just scratched the surface. The ecosystem is helping us. Our own initiative was spreading our way footprint and reaching out to SMEs. And I believe that sooner or later we'll get into the threshold of about 4 to 5% penetration.
Wow, Ram, I think we should interact a bit more often just to get an update on, how are these initiatives shaping up. So we'll try and do that with you. But let me just jump to a couple of numerical and technical factors, Ram. One, you yourself know your stock dipped a little bit over the last 6 to 7 months on a couple of concerns. One was, of course, that 1,000 crore equity dilution. The second was part stake sale by PEs who I believe hold about 30 or 35%. Now, can you shed some light on both of these factors? What are the latest updates or status points out here?
Okay, so no fundraising is going to happen in the medium term. So, yes, we had that resolution, and that remains a resolution. So there's absolutely no visibility, and we don't believe that we are going to raise money in the short to medium term.
Okay, one last question, Ram. What about guidance? 27-30% CAGR for the next 3 years with EBITDA margins of close to 30% for FY16. Am I being reasonable?
You are on the ballpark. So I always maintain that top line growth rate to be between 25 to 30%. Continue maintaining that. As far as margins are concerned, definitely a stable margin excluding the one-time spend is what we are looking at.
All right, Ram, we leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining us and giving us those details about your business. All the best for the future. We'll take a short break on that note. The market is still looking a bit weaker. When we come back, it's going to be important to focus on the entire coal space.